What's going on, guys? I'm Fern, the creator and the executive producer of Survifern, an LRG that is part music festival and reality TV show. Coming at you live from 8P Vibes in Asbury Park, New Jersey, podcast studio in the area. Check them out. They got like hundreds and hundreds of podcasts about your favorite artists. But for now, we are talking about tips on how to be an LRG game. And today's topic is managing your players. So let's jump on in. So we're going to start off with health and safety. Look, goes without saying, you should have somebody on staff always, whether it be someone who has medical experience, like a nurse or a doctor would be great if you can find one, or even if it's just your mom, and your mom is great at putting on bandages and making people feel better. But you want someone on staff in case someone gets hurt. You're running challenges, you're in the woods, you're in the parks, wherever you are, you don't know what's going to happen. The next thing with health and safety, you want to make sure you know all your players' needs. For example, in our first season, we had someone that needed to take insulin daily, and we weren't going to tell that person, no, you can't take your insulin because you're playing our game right now. If that's the game you want to run, just make sure that's up front. If you want to be a survival game where people are really tested and all natural, just make sure that's clear up front. If not, make sure you know what your players need, whether it be medical stuff or food allergies or just dietary restrictions. We had a lot of vegans play our game, and you don't realize what isn't vegan until you start hanging out with vegans and you go, oh wait, they can't have that, they can't have that. So make sure you got the right protein bars, make sure you have plenty of water. I need it! If you do a reward and the reward is like hamburgers or whatever it is, make sure you have a vegetarian vegan option if your players need that. And you also want to make sure that these people don't go thirsty. You want to keep them hydrated. Plenty of water.
Aziz, did you drink some water?
I did drink a lot of water. You told me to.
That's good.
Did I?
Drink a lot of water.
I haven't really seen too many LRGs that say you have to earn water. So really make sure that that's readily available. You don't want someone having a heat stroke or something because one, you want to take care of your people. And then two, from a game design, that will be a huge distraction and a huge time crunch. And just make sure everyone feels good when they enter the game. You want them to feel safe and feel empowered to play well. And another way for you to feel great is have them sign a waiver. Even if you just have to make one from like a blank template, but make everyone sign a waiver. You are competing in a game. You understand that this is happening to you. No one's forcing you to do it. Protect yourselves and protect your players. But we are not giving legal advice. We do not give legal advice, but you should have them sign a waiver. Great, all right, so now your players are feeling good, they're safe, their needs are taken care of. Now you have to take care of their game needs. And a big part of that is fair and transparent communication. So that means, unless it's part of your game design to have some people know one thing and other people know another thing, you want to send everyone the same message. Copy and paste it, throw it in there. If you're doing emails or text messages, whatever it is, everyone gets the same message, not on a group thread, unless for some reason you want all your players talking together. Same exact information, because you don't want someone getting a nugget of info that this person didn't get, and now they're talking during the game. They're like, well, I didn't hear that, I did. And then favoritism feels like it's coming out. Your players, okay, maybe not your players. My players always feel like there's an inherent bias for some reason, and that other people are treated a certain way, and that the game is rigged. You don't want your players thinking the game is rigged. They'll yell it at you constantly for years.
Fern rigged the game.
So all you want to do is make sure that the communication you're giving is the same and everyone just gets the same. I'm going to say the same 100 times. Give them the same information. A lot of times your players will also give you follow-up questions. They'll try to poke more information out of you. I like to have fun with it, and I just always say the same thing. Something simple as like, the information's in the text. The information's in the text. The information's in the text.
No pain, no pain, no pain, no pain.
And if for whatever reason someone asks you a really good question that you feel like you should answer, then you can send a follow-up, but I also would copy and paste the same wordage to everyone so that everyone enters the game with the same ideas. All right, so this next point kind of goes without saying. I feel like everyone behind the camera might know this already, but you want to make your players feel safe enough that they trust you enough to tell you everything about their game, because you want to get those confessionals, all those juicy moments, to make the audience really dive into these characters. So really make sure whenever confessional spot you pick, they feel safe enough where no one can overhear them. They feel safe enough where, really important, that they give you the content that you need. And also, it's very important from behind the camera for you not to give any extra information. information. The players might try to get you to spill about what other players are saying, which has happened before.
Snitches end up in ditches.
So you just have to be strong if you're the one holding the camera and just keep it to the questions. You could be playful, but you don't want to give anybody any information, because once there's distrust, then their whole game breaks down. And then this person's not going to talk to this one. This contestant refuses to take confessionals with this camera person. You just got to keep things straight and honest, and everyone should be hunky-dory. I hate the word hunky-dory. You just got to be straight and honest, and everything should be fine. Okay, so next, managing your players. Whatever point number we're on. Point number 4? Point number 4 or 5. 4 or 5. Anticipate rule scrutiny. Your players are going to push at you throughout the entire game about what they can and can't do. They're going to want clarity.
So let me be clear.
If they see someone doing something that they thought they couldn't do, they're going to come at you hard for that. And they're going to try to have you stop that other contestant from doing it. So just make sure you fully understand your rules, because your players might end up knowing your rules better than you. For us, the biggest example of that is the personal items. Some people would just bring in like a book. Other people would bring in a book and a pen. And then all of a sudden, now you have someone bringing in a guitar.
You said you can only bring one item. And I was personally mad because I picked my vape pen over the guitar, but other people brought their vape pen or their cigarettes and an item.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, well, yeah, they were probably
There you go. All right. You think you make a rule, you just bring, the rule is bring one personal item. Please confirm your personal item with us. And then all of a sudden, it's a year later, and then you find out that some of these people were hiding 2 or 3 extra personal items. So just make sure that you are very strict and you're being on top of stuff. A little bit of an example of this, we had a contestant in season 2. I will name her, she knows it. Kate from season 2 dissected every single rule that we had, so much that I put her on production in season 3 to overlook all our rules before we sent them. One thing that we put into the game was a choose your champion, as in like you can put anybody in the game for you if you don't want to compete. And we did like a bowling challenge, and apparently in my wording, it didn't make it seem like any person could be a champion. It made it seem like any other contestant could be a champion, and she very much was upset when Palm's champion, who was not a contestant, beat her in the bowling challenge. So, your players are going to go and look at every single word you say. So really make sure you're saying the right words. All right, so our last point that I want to talk to you guys about is just creating a fun and respectful environment, which means it might make sense for you to come up with like a rules and agreement, not a waiver like we're talking about before, but a rules and agreement, so that if they're clearly breaking these rules, they are expelled from the game and they have to leave immediately. That sadly did have to happen to us once in season 3. We made it very clear what the rules were after you were voted out of the game. We had one player that did make it difficult for other contestants and production members, and both enough people on production and enough people on the cast told me that they would just feel much more comfortable if this other person left. And sadly, we had to tell that person to leave. We had to do it because you want the players still in the game to be able to play comfortably, and you need your production crew as well to feel comfortable. So your environment throughout the whole game needs to be respectful and fun, or else it all can come crumbling down. And that's kind of the theme that I keep on bringing up, is the moment the trust in the game goes, the moment that anybody doesn't feel safe, then that whole kind of like fantasy world that we're building starts to crumble, and then the game is broken, and then maybe you don't even get to finish your game, which has never happened to me yet. So you're going to keep the environment fun. You're going to protect everybody, yourselves. Everyone's going to feel safe. You're going to manage your players by controlling the information flow to make sure that nobody hears something that they shouldn't. You're going to make sure that they trust you behind the camera so they can give you good confessionals. And you're going to have a great first season whenever you decide to film it. All right, guys, so that's the end of the video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure like, comment, subscribe, put your questions in the comments, and we will answer all of them. If you are working on a game, even if it's your second or third one, and you want just to run some ideas by, that's the best thing to do. I DM so many people all my crazy ideas, and they're the ones that kind of rein me in. So, share, chat with us, subscribe. Our season 2 comes out soon, so you can watch that on YouTube starting in June. Season 4 being filmed this summer, and thank you to AP Vibes for having us. We'll see you the next time.